discussion on the minutes? Because it's like we haven't, I probably messed up because I said to Cynthia that the minutes, I think we spent a lot of time recording the infinite details of the minutes, and there's the YouTube video you can watch if you really want to get into anything. So I hate to see people like getting writer's cramp during the meeting, writing things down for minutes, when you could watch the YouTube video if you really wanted to get into the specific details of a conversation. So, but we haven't had minutes for the last two meetings, and we need to figure out a way to deal with that, right? But, so I tried to educate myself on what the elements of the traditional meeting minutes were. And it's the date, the time, the attendees and absentees, who's here, who's not. And I assume that's to make sure there's a quorum or not. Who took the minutes should be recorded. Decisions and motions, not every little detail. And tasks assigned, person responsible, timing of completion, that kind of stuff. And the reason I brought it up is because, I mean, I honestly think if the minutes is more than 1 page long, it's probably too much information. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is I feel like when we get involved taking minutes, the poor person that does it spends more time taking minutes and less time being engaged in the conversation, which is unfortunate, right? So how do you guys feel about that?
I agree.
I think we should just have a minutes template, and
Yep.
whoever's taking notes starts with that.
Yep.
Fill in the parts.
Fill in the parts. All right. So I'll make a template. Okay. And for the purpose, we ought to have like a roster of minute responsibilities.
Right. The way it works is everyone should probably be doing it twice a year.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to just rotate around, but the message is not going to cross a few times.
Yeah. So for the purposes of, why don't,
I'll take minutes today then, so I can get that off.
Are
my
you
list,
okay with
because
that?
Yes, because I'm going to go home and I'm going to regurgitate them right back to everybody. And you're
Yeah,
going to,
but-
and that's going to be the end of it. Because
Okay.
I am really not going to be able to do it April through October typically. So,
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. You don't mind? Great. Rebecca's on.
So the first thing to note, so we have the attendees, the absentees, who took minutes. But I think, so the first decision task is Brian L. is going to make a minutes template, and I'll distribute it to everybody. I'll do that this week. All right?
Yeah.
So the idea,
Sam's missing.
you literally ought to be able to take the template I create and just fill it in. Because it'll say absentees, attendees, absent, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's kind of what
And then any things we vote on necessary or action items.
action items, yeah, and I'll write that in there. Okay? So,
Sounds good.
Super.
good. I don't want to belabor the issue, but, okay, good. So Rebecca's got the ball this time. And then
Thank you, Rebecca.
okay. And then, so Ellison and Dave are not here, so.
But Ellison said she was coming, so she might
All
show.
right, well, we got plenty to talk about. So the first thing, so we're going to go to 12, we're going to skip the first 20 minutes, go to 12:50. And the first thing, the EAB scope of work. Audra said she'd come by around 1 o'clock, but let's just talk about this for a minute. I'm really delighted with what we've accomplished with this Emerald Ash Borer response plan. I mean, everybody worked really hard on it. Everybody's been really good about providing their input and information. The basis of this this document, which I sent around this morning, because I actually got it from Audra yesterday. I went down to town office. Unfortunately, Barbara was supposed to go with me, but she wasn't feeling well. And I happened to go down and meet with her and Dave. Because it was voting day, they weren't totally busy. So and Audra took the Emerald Ash Borer scope of work that we all put together and put it in this town of Camden request for bid template. She did an amazing job at doing it, by the way. And this is, you know, you're welcome to read it and provide inputs, but at this point, this should be pretty well locked down, right? Because it should reflect everything everybody's already mentioned, in addition to some stuff that Dave provided, which I'm really glad he had an opportunity to provide his inputs, because he's the person who's going to be the recipient of most of the results of the work. So what happens next is this request for bid goes out, and I'm not exactly sure. We need to ask Audra exactly how that all happens. But once the bids are returned, then they need to be reviewed, and there's a time limit on the bidding, and they need to be reviewed, and then we'll make the decision as to who the bid would go to. And it's not solely based on the lowest bid, for a lot of good reasons.
So the town would have the Conservation Commission actually make the selection?
Yep. And then once we make the selection, it goes to the select board for approval. So, and that's something that, I mean, we don't need to do a presentation or anything. I guess we could be there if there were any questions, but it ought to be pretty straightforward, because we've already done presentation. The expectations have already been set, yada, 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 right? So how do you guys feel about that? Pretty straightforward? I think we're this close to having it done.
Thanks. Love it. Is Shane the only person who can bid on this?
No.
No? Okay.
Nope. And Shane will certainly bid on it.
Okay.
There's a number of, whoever we decide to go with will be based on a lot of different merits. And in the last page, it basically says selection criteria.
Yeah.
I think that Shane certainly has contributed a lot.
Yeah.
And he would be an extraordinarily logical choice to do the work. So to answer your question, but it needs to go through the due process, right?
Right.
Bids on the select board section of the town report under RFP's bids. You can see all the ones they have.
Okay.
Sam, if anyone wants to know, it's right on the town website. Anyone can go to it.
The rules about collecting bid, you mean?
So that's where people look at bids for proposals, like there's ones for,
So it'll go up on the website
the town
for a bid.
website,
It'll go on. Okay.
under the select board tab.
I mean,
It may also go in the paper, depending on what the town's process is. But there are,
we can ask Audra, by the
yeah,
way.
and there's a trigger for people who do different types of work to, and process to look.
Yeah,
I
we'll-
mean,
we'll-
And we can let anybody know.
We'll let Shane
Yeah.
know. I mean,
Yeah. And there's an,
And can you refresh my memory about who the other options are? Because my memory is that it's been said that Shane's the only local person who's
well,
licensed
there's,
to do this,
there's
but
a-
is that
there's-
true?
There's another person, we don't know if he personally has the correct licensing.
Okay,
And he needs to have him for this to bid on this.
right.
And that's the tree keepers, which is what Nancy and Doug Johnson sold the business to. They have the license, but does he have the license? He has to hold them himself. It's not
well,
something he transfers.
there's a lot of,
There's a lot of other contractors in the state that could,
But they have, you can't just be an arborist. have to be an.
Right. There's a lot of licensed pesticide applicators in the
Yeah.
state.
Oh, in the state, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but the fact that Shane's local helps a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Is that one of the selection criteria?
What we heard from the Maine Forest Service was the other people in our area was like Waterville, Brunswick, blah, blah, blah. So they didn't even know about tree keepers at the time. So that's why I'm not sure.
we have a history with Shane too, which is
Yeah.
good. I mean,
So there are people in the
Yeah.
state for sure, because there's.
Okay.
But it is one
It
of-
just is always good, there's a
Oh, yeah.
reason
Yeah,
the bid process
we-
exists.
I mean, we have to be
hear
like-
from multiple people and
I
not
just wondered, you could have a selection criterion being localness, I think.
well,
We
we,
don't want to pay.
If
for
you
their time
wanted to.
travel there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and I suspect that should be included in
In,
the bid, the price. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
probably falls under cost competitiveness, right?
Yeah.
If you have to
Right.
pay for their
But if-
travel.
the thing is, like, the other ones that were mentioned by, that have the same licenses that you need, are in areas that does tons of emerald ash borer already, so it's not like they're desperate for work, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, the qualifications in here are, there's a lot of teeth in this document to try to make sure that the company, it's not a person, the company that bids on this has boku qualifications.
Right.
And if you look at somebody like Shane, he meets all the qualifications, not to like stack the deck, but the reason, well, that's important, right? And like they need to be a licensed master arborist, there needs to be a licensed commercial applicator master license holder. The people who do the pesticide application need to be commercial applicator or operator, and they have licenses. This is all controlled by the Maine Board of Pesticide Control. I went up and I looked at the qualifications in our area, and Shane's pretty much it, right? Now, yeah, there's some in other areas, but I mean, we're gonna have to just, it's gonna be up to us, I think, to sort through what happens next and make a decision based on the best interests of the town and the taxpayers, community and the trees, right?
Yep.
So, I know that probably sounds a little wishy-washy, but it's not supposed to be.
No, that's not wishy-washy. I think it answered
like
my
There needs to
question.
be enough
I'm happy to
latitude.
hear that there will be other people bidding.
Yep, and the selection criteria are pretty well locked down.
Yeah.
And they should be very clear, and they should be based on good science and standard practices. We default back to the Maine Forest Service for their, because we want whoever it is that does the emerald ash borer inoculation, blah, 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 to be using the Maine Forest Service standard practices.
Mhm.
It doesn't state what the pesticide to be used in here is.
Right.
So I think we've also had, we have, as a group, have put a lot of work into trying to educate ourselves as to what the pros and cons are, what's used throughout the United States, yada, yada, yada. So I think we're going into this pretty well educated.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree with me?
Very much.
Good, excellent, good. So we're ready to rock and roll, I think, other than,
Very exciting.
yep, it is exciting. And it's a huge, for us as a group, I think it's a big achievement,
Mhm.
because this is literally going to impact the quality of the community in the future in a big way. And it's just a question of time. So Audra will, when she comes by, we can segue back to this if you guys are okay with it. And then we can ask her, I think a good question is what actually happens with the request for
Yeah.
bid process? How's that happen? Yada, 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 right?
Yep.
Okay, any other comments on that, folks? Okay, Barb, could you give us a quick update on the tree tagging, which I've seen in my walks around town? I see tags on trees, which is really cool.
With Cynthia's help, we got tags on a bunch of the trees that were in Louise Crane's report, that's especially ones that said that they were species trees.
Specimens.
Specimen trees, I'm sorry, specimen trees. We didn't get them all done. But then Monday, I realized that, so the Forest Service has this, initially sent us to this website that helps you figure out the value of a tree, putting in its different criteria. So I had been playing with that app and had the app. And then when I went back to actually fill in the things, they said, oh, that app is not being supported, use this app instead. So I was like, okay, great. So I started doing the other app. And the other app that I'm now using, it defaults to 20 years of value. And the sign says 1 year value. So most of these things have the wrong number on them. So I have to go back
Oh, geez.
and read.
That was going to be my question is I'm out running and walking and seeing them, as
High
I go.
numbers, I
And
know.
I was like, I don't think the numbers are
Yeah.
accurate or I'm not
So
sure what the measure
I didn't
is,
realize that
Hey,
was the
Dave.
default,
Hey.
was 20 years. So I'm starting to redo them all.
So the number that will be on them will reflect the 1 year value.
Well, because it's the
Annual
sciences. I mean, I was thinking of going back and saying 20 years, but
Yeah.
I think I should just change them.
Okay.
Because it's what, we have 15, 20. Yeah, you need two people to actually do it because most of them are big and you can't get your arms around the tree.
You don't have a DBH measuring tape?
No. Still need, you still
Do you
need
have
two
a
people.
DBH measuring tape?
Just use a regular tape.
But you still need two people, some person to hold the sign, another person to
Yeah, it's
actually.
because it's so big, the tree is so big, you've got to, you got to walk around it.
One holds one end of the string and you're tied together. And the trees.
Why?
I make
does
a
it
really
deviate?
cool one
I have a
that
big
has like
gauge.
a hook on the end.
Oh, they have a hook.
Hook it onto the bark.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
that would help a
I
lot.
fell into an internet hole recently. Yeah, I'll get you one for Christmas.
Oh, no. Can you hang a sign that way? I mean, because.
Oh, right, because you also have to take the
Put
sign.
a nail
put
in
the
it or
sign.
something?
Huh?
We wouldn't want to do that.
I don't know.
No.
I wouldn't even think of doing a nail.
A tack?
No, so we have two people, we can do.
Yeah, so we just need two people each time. But Cynthia and I have been doing this for a team. I
So,
don't get to redo it all.
well, it's great.
So I've started redoing it.
So those two trees, the chiropractor BD?
I haven't done those yet.
Yeah, those two trees, that looks like, they were interested in having us get more involved in something with their trees, right?
Cynthia was dealing with COVID at the time.
There's an ash in the Village Green too.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
We have one there.
I mean, if people kind of would call in with important trees, I'd like to see you have a letter or something in the paper.
Well,
Yeah,
if anyone
right.
would like to do a bunch of them themselves, because it is a bit time consuming.
With DBH?
No, just do the app, give you the.
Sign,
give
you
the
see the
signs.
signs on the trees, Dave?
You measure the tree,
No, I
you go, you make up the sign, you go
Yeah.
back and you
Where-
tie it on.
How many have you done?
What would we do, about 15 or 18 or something?
Yeah, they're
We
on
measured more than that, I thought.
throughout the village. And they talk about this,
But
the
like
tree a
zero
little
are
bit,
done
the
now.
importance
because-
of it.
Basically, zero are done
Where's-
because we have to
where's-
redo them.
Village Green?
All right, I want to go look.
But I told you, I don't know if you've heard this, but the original app I was working with was for 1 year. I was playing around with it when they first told us about it. But then when they got the signs, I started making up the signs. And I was putting in the calculations. They had switched to a different app, which defaults to a 20-year thing, not a 1 year. And I
Value.
didn't know that.
Can you just
So now I
multiply
have
by
to-
20?
No, I think it changes each year gets.
That sounds logical, but that's not.
Because
It's not that simple.
It's
You know, I
gonna
bet they
grow.
have- I bet there's an app,
Your microphone isn't.
I bet there's an app on the phone for DBH now.
Well, this is to
mean?
calculate the value of a tree.
Yeah,
It
and you have to
actually,
know how far it is from the house it's
Nearby
by.
house.
And, yeah,
Is it
and,
east, west, northeast?
right,
So why do you have to do that?
because they're, part of their calculation of value is how much heating and cooling you're saving the house. That's what we figured.
That's one of the
anyway.
reasons why some of the ones that aren't too close to a house have a lesser value. than the ones that
Right.
are really close. We're like, wow, this is a much nicer tree than that one, but
I mean, the whole value thing is pretty
I
sketchy
know.
to
Value
me.
to the sidewalk.
about the
Sorry,
value
I could really-
philosophically? How about the,
They should
what the
continue.
value to other
These are-
species?
We value the ones
But I
closest to
mean,
the
what's
sidewalk.
the heating and cooling of the?
You gotta
pavement
turn your
or-
microphone.
I know, but
You should make
nobody
up a
was
new app.
gonna,
Well,
that's not a deferred cost if you, it's the pavement. I mean, nobody's warming the pavement artificially in the
Well,
meantime.
no,
so.
but like, I mean, I'm not trying to
Pulling it.
debate this, but
Well, we do actually have some
if,
heated
if you,
sidewalks.
if you have like a lot of these trees along the roadway and the sidewalks and in the town, you got the island effect. It reduces that, which also reduces the amount of cooling you need to do on the buildings and stuff.
Yep.
That
Ah,
part of the app?
nope.
Oh, that's a big,
Well-
that's kind of leaving out a huge part of our central argument.
Well, actually, we don't know. We actually don't know because it doesn't have any information about how they're calculating.
Island effect, though, I imagine there is something like that talks
Might
about.
need to-
I don't know what it is. I don't
If you
claim to
find
know.
it, let us know.
Maybe
I
we
will.
should just check the methodology on the calculation
No,
quickly,
but-
if it's possible, or see if there's something there.
No, but I
and-
mean, like we.
Or at
did
least
search
state
for
this
that.
is the standard that was used based on previous tree surveys,
Well, in
and
the
then leave it at
bro-
that.
But I
Because
think
you
that-
can
I think-
go down
I-
a big
I-
rabbit hole here.
I think
Yeah.
that the key thing is that basically to let people know that these trees.
The
all
trees
have
are
value.
They have
Yeah,
value.
get them
Okay,
thinking.
one says
But I think they were
72 and
wildly
one says 79.
undervalued
Is it that
where,
big of a
where I
difference?
went by. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know where that number's.
Oh,
coming
you know
from,
what we
but-
could do that's pretty
A
concrete?
subcommittee that like looks into this a little bit more, if they want
Yeah,
to.
a subcommittee of 8.
Anybody who want.
I just have one more idea though. Like if the cost of cutting that tree down if you don't treat it,
Yeah,
that's
we-
very concrete
Oh, yeah, we know.
because it's
that.
going to die if you don't treat it.
Oh, yeah.
that's what
That was one of the big arguments Brian had made.
that
What was it? What we had calculated, how many hundreds of thousands of dollars to cut all
Yeah,
those
it was,
trees
it
down?
was $1 million.
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
900 and,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of money.
a lot of money.
Yep. And
I-
then.
I
well,
did my part the other day. I want to talk, because we're talking about ash trees.
Yeah, well, you guys just
Oh, you
got
wanna wait?
here, so we can segue back
Right
to,
here, we'll go back. I'm good. So
um,
that's on.
back to you guys if you want.
So I've been having this person call on Pearl Street, relentless about cutting this on Pearl Street, on the corner of Pearl and Oak Street. And keeps on calling me up, and I'm like, I go over and I'm looking and I don't see anything. I'm like, what's he talking about? And there's this elm tree, and it's kind of a little, it's not straight up. It's going towards the road a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's driving this guy crazy, right? So he's like, this is gonna kill people. I'm like, it's just growing towards the sun. And he's like,
It's called phototaxing.
and he's like, oh well, I gotta cut. And he kept on calling. And I went 4 times. I think I went there. And
Really?
Finally,
You're
yeah.
a patient man.
There are a lot of stories.
Finally,
like this that are kind
it was
interesting.
like back and forth. I didn't go and talk with him personally. I was go out and look, and then I call back and tell Kendall there's nothing wrong. And finally, I said, tell the guy to meet me over there because I'm gonna go talk to him. And I'm like, listen, there's nothing wrong with this tree. He goes, well, this tree was planted by the Conservation Commission years ago as part of Arbor Day. And he goes, I don't think we need this tree. So that was it's an elm,
It's
it's an
an
elm,
elm.
it's an elm tree. It's like, but it's only
Elm
like,
tree?
it's,
Yeah,
it's only like this big around.
Yeah.
On the corner of Oak and Pearl,
yeah,
on Pearl.
yeah.
Do you know where I mean?
I know roughly where you
And it-
mean,
and
yeah.
it- well, you can tell it's kind of growing. But anyway, I said, listen, we don't just cut trees down because they're crooked. I says, and I
It's
go,
an elm tree.
I go, it isn't going to hurt anybody. Yeah, but he had some company called, and the company was called Tree Eliminators or something like that.
Ooh.
And I'm like, Ken was like, well, he says he's got his own company there right now, and they take care of like the dead branches and everything. I'm like, what's the name of the company? Oh, Tree Eliminators. I'm like,
Wasn't that
it was some name like that, right? And I'm like, no, I don't think I want I don't need Tree Eliminators to do it. So I go back over and I'm like talking to him. I said, he goes, yeah, but it's going to die. I go, you know what? Everything's going to die. And I said, it doesn't
It's
mean
good, Dave.
doesn't it's dead yet. And I
Yeah,
go-
right. Get
I
some
go,
good
I'll
years
see you
left in
next
it.
year. He's like, okay. And that was the end of it. But I bet I spent 2 hours, 3 hours.
Really?
It's a very big tree.
Cut it down if you wanted to?
No, it's in the
Okay.
right of way.
Okay, good.
Somebody
But
should
it couldn't be that big a tree. It's
flag that with a story, like
It
a,
was
a
just-
marker. For,
It was the craziest thing. And he was a nice
For
guy.
fear of trees.
I was expecting like this really like difficult person.
Yeah.
And I show up and he's a nice enough guy. Like, But he just looks out his window and he sees that tree and it's like that. And he just can't take it. You know, it's just try. It's like,
Must be an engineer or something.
Hobbies.
huh?
Maybe he's an engineer or something.
I don't know. I'm that way.
Thing is, he's probably right.
Trees, if I saw, it's like a thing that people are afraid of trees.
Right,
They're
sometimes
gonna
they
fall- they're gonna fall on their house. they're
Well,
gonna
if it didn't
dead.
fall yesterday, it's probably pretty good shape.
It's people from Arizona.
Yeah, but it's true that elm trees
Right,
usually do
exactly.
die young nowadays. I mean, they can make it to like 15 years and then they keel over, but we'll worry about that later.
But this one would be, actually, it would be
This is a
interesting for the
cross,
Conservation Commission because they did there was that deliberate process of trying to plant some of these trees.
Yeah,
And then so a lot of them have died, but the ones that are surviving, it would be,
yeah.
I bet Beatty's going to go out and look at the tree.
This is not a beautiful tree by any means. I'm not going to say
Oh.
it's like a model.
It might die.
Yeah.
Right, but it's alive right now. That's great.
You know, it's like this big around.
Everything will die
Pretty
eventually.
good.
I says,
Let's say that.
How
I
would it
says-
hurt anybody?
things
Dave-
start
Dave brought
dying
it up.
the day that the day this tree started growing, it started dying. He's like,
That's heavy.
You're really upbeat.
Just like
it's
us.
true, right? Like if
Is it?
somebody gets sick, you don't like kill the person. You kind of try to prolong their
dead.
life.
You don't go to an embalmer to have your teeth cleaned. Right, I get it.
That's a good analogy. Did you say that?
Any other
It's
updates?
something-
Let's circle
Oh,
back
yeah.
around.
Is the tree
Before it
sick
gets-
though? I don't know if it's not a good analogy.
It's just a little crooked.
It's just crooked.
He's trying to find problems with it. And I was like, look, there's
Someone has
buds
a
all over
limp,
it.
you
It's
don't
fine.
kill them.
My
Right.
smile
I
is
have a little bit of
crooked. That's- I'll
scoliosis,
never-
but,
So-
um,
It was meant to be a funny thing.
All right,
just
I
thought-
know.
Human interest story.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll check it out. I'll walk up and take a look at it.
You guys are all.
Maybe we
gonna
should
come
put a
back.
tag on it or
Right,
something.
like this tree has been, because sometimes there are trees like that constantly get attacked over the year, right, Dave? Like
Oh, yeah.
there's, I
The one
won't,
on Cross Street, Cross, right? Those
cross, yeah.
Cross, yeah.
What, do the people want to
Cross
take
them.
it down?
Do they carve their names?
I have
Which one?
the one that you're thinking of, the big one there, right? When you go
Oh,
down
yeah.
on the right-hand side, I have fought the battle saving that tree like 12
The
times.
the tree people want to cut it down. They want the job of cutting it down.
Oh, yeah, because it's a big tree.
Eventually they'll get it.
Okay, because it's brings some economic value to them, right?
Well, yeah, they get like
But there's a lot of
Three-
shade in it still.
3-4 grand to cut it down. I got a letter from their attorney the other day from the new people that bought it wanting to cut the tree down because it's near their house and they think it's gonna
Really?
fall. Yeah,
Where's this at?
Which one?
on Cross Street, right at the beginning of Cross Street off of one.
The,
105.
Les Bex's old place
There's 3 houses.
with that
in-
barn, Mark Segan, that barn that got restored. There used to be a lot of circus stuff in the yard.
Oh, I know what you
Um,
mean.
Yeah.
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 There's
That's,
a lot of trees on that
Yep.
street.
Yep.
So then the guy says, the guy that owned it before wanted the tree cut. I said, no, I can't cut it. And then I pruned it. And then he said, well, my sewer line's backed up now and it's going under the tree roots. So we got to cut the tree down. I said, no, you got to move the sewer line. And then he said, well, I'm just digging up the sewer line. Then he said that I needed to pay for the sewer line because the tree damaged the sewer line. And it's because it's a street tree. And then I had the town attorney look it over and he said, well, it's really his tree, but we have all of the rights to the tree.
yeah,
So he's like,
that backfired.
But this is important because these are tactics
Yeah.
that get repeatedly employed and have been historically very effective. And so to have a log really of sort of,
I should put that
this
in
was
the
the attack, this is the response, almost like
Yeah,
an training, some kind of AI even,
yeah.
because your experience is not, other people are going to be like, oh, well, the sewer line is being damaged and they won't know. They'll think it's an isolated thing. And that's led to many trees being cut down. But to have the history of, oh, no, this was the response to that. This is the response to that.
I should have put it in the app and I didn't.
The Conservation Commission should really, we got to get this app stuff going again so that all the knowledge that's coming in of like where trees have been planted or cut down or, complaints or things like that could go in that app and be preserved. But so that they, Public Works guys can download it to you guys and then you can go in there and put it all into the app. Whenever I hear these stories, I think more people should know.
Hey,
It's
Molly
a
is-
cycle that just keeps on repeating itself.
Right.
Oh, Kathleen, I don't think you are using the app yet.
No.
I can show you.
Oh, we should do a training.
Doesn't take much.
So I hadn't used the app for a while, and I went to use it the other day because I was looking at the emerald ash borer write-up, and I wanted to see if
So-
all of the,
So you, okay, can we just segue?
yeah,
Okay, so Audra's probably gonna come to the meeting right after 1 o'clock, which is coming right up, to talk about the RFP. Allison, I sent this to you today. Just so you know you got it, right?
I was I've been waiting for it.
No, I-
ever.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
No, yeah,
And
I-
Dave, you just,
slacking off, Brian.
she, what?
no,
You've been
just-
slacking off.
You're slacking off?
I said, you've been slacking off. No, I'm being sarcastic.
I don't know what I am. I'm just, I'm.
So you made the changes we talked about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so, the changes we discussed
Yeah.
yesterday
Right.
should be incorporated in this document,
Awesome.
right? And Allison, this should be ready to go. The document, just so you know.
Do you want to look at it?
Oh,
When you get a minute, if you want to take you don't have to do it right now, but I'm
I don't
just,
think I'm gonna, I
You don't-
think enough
you
of
know.
you and Dave, I'm likely to just
okay,
endorse.
that's fine.
Um,
Yep. But this will
Come to the select
eventually
board, yeah.
rise up to the select board.
Probably, hopefully not this meeting, but maybe next. And
Yeah.
then,
And
and
then,
I'll be able to
they'll
say they really
only-
worked hard on it and thank you. And,
They'll only approve
oh yeah, no,
the
right.
award of the bid.
That's a good point.
right,
We're not gonna approve the RFP
the language, yeah.
Oh,
No, we can't have the select board involved in that kind of thing. Audra,
Okay.
Just ask Audra.
So what'll happen, well, Audra, I don't know where we should probably
This
wait
is
till.
more involvement than, I think she's probably just gonna trust you also.
Oh
You
my
guys.
God.
we went through it all together
Yeah, I mean-
yesterday.
Yeah, this whole group has been.
I can see from some of the flutter of activity in the background, it's quite well.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
So, okay. So,
Did you talk with Shane?
no,
Okay.
not yet. I wanted to have our meeting today first.
Gotcha.
And then, do you have anything else to report from the Department of Public
We've
Works?
been on a mad planning frenzy. I think, I kind of think we're right around the 35, 40 tree range right now. If you count everything we planted.
Yep.
Now, a lot of them are in areas like the parks and, I was able to put, 20 trees in one, not 20, but maybe 15 trees in one place. So that kind
Hey,
of,
they're all trees, man.
Nice.
it got me up really quick. So I did the park over here. I had a bunch of them over there. We did Gould Street.
Oh, that's great.
Did you
Yeah.
see we put 2 dogwoods and a catalpa over there. I planted about 17 over by the bridge. I planted a bunch at Lupin Lane.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
All needs to go in the app though.
yeah, I haven't
Not,
put
but that
any
would,
of them
they
in
should do,
the app.
they could do
So
that.
if somebody went around, or some buddies went around and put them in the app, can we take all the tags off them,
That's why
please?
they're not, the tags
Okay,
aren't
good,
off. of
because
them
I was
because
like,
they
oh my
start-
gosh.
You start losing them.
Well, and I just get nervous because it's
I have them all
It's
written
really
down.
bad for
I
the
mean,
trees.
I was gonna go out and do them and then I was like, just
That's
like,
great, though. Oh, you mean you don't want the tags to strangle the trees?
well,
I do not want the
I
tags.
thought you were
I
worried
don't
about
like the
littering.
tags on the tree.
I would think, one, I think it just looks unbelievably tacky. That's my aesthetic.
I
But
planted
two,
a
from an
Princeton
actual
elm.
professional standpoint, it's horrendous for the trees because
Yep.
they can cause all kinds of damage.
Yep.
Well,
So-
as soon as you guys put them
Um,
in the app, then the,
So,
I planted a Princeton elm on Pearl Street and the Colonel
Nice.
Oak Pearl, I think, on the other side.
okay, it's just like.
That's great.
We cut one down.
Oh,
Um,
Is it straight or is it crooked?
that's.
I planted it
vengeful.
crooked, so it was like the other one.
So it offset the other one?
The sun.
So,
Um,
Dave, or do they get watered even though, Steve says he's not watering anymore because.
I figured it says they're dormant right now and like watering them.
The only thing is.
It's been raining.
You might.
He'll
ask somebody who
probably
knows
get
co-
away with it because we've got enough rain
Yeah.
in the projected
it's
forecast.
okay.
I'm not saying it's perfect or, but I do think that the cooler temperatures coupled with if we get as much predicted rain in the next 2 weeks as
I
has been
just don't
said.
trust the weather.
I don't necessarily trust it either, but yeah, but
Yes.
they should not go,
'Cause it's,
frost to
so
frost dry. So you want to make sure they're still adequate.
Yeah,
There's
But
some
it's been
areas-
raining pretty good the past couple.
yeah.
We're dealing with a deficit, so you'd
Yeah.
actually want to dig a little.
Well,
It's a different world every year now.
I know.
You have to remember to think it through and, your soil and water, you probably got it.
I mean, we could go out and water them
So-
once this year, but it's gonna rain today. It's gonna rain
Just
Friday.
remember,
Yeah.
it's pretty different this year.
Oh, yeah, it's been really dry. But one of the things I think I did that it was a pretty good move on my part. I was able to maneuver through a situation. So, when you're coming into town from Rockport, heading towards
Yeah.
Camden on Route 1, I've got all the new trees on the right,
Yep,
and how I wanted to put a bunch on
across
the
from
left.
Hannaford.
Right, well, in front of Hannaford, I
Yeah.
wanted to do a bunch of trees over there.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, this is just,
yeah, I mean,
this is a,
I think I've got it so that now we're gonna be able to put a bunch over there
You mean?
which we had the right to do before, but
along the road.
Yeah.
So that you have.
That'd
trees
be
on both
beautiful.
sides.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can have
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
canopy.
balance
With the
it.
intention of getting them in this year, or just that you
No.
have the, okay, that's
No.
what, yeah, that's
mean,
fine.
yeah.
That sounds like.
That's
we're-
great,
We're
though.
getting to the end here.
So I'll be able to put, a whole bunch, probably ironwood or what's the other underwire trees that we're doing, hawthorns or something like that, because there are the wires right there. Uh-oh.
Thank you.
Just bring here something.
Oh,
I'm not gonna,
you can participate if you want.
that's all right. I'll let you guys
Thank
go.
you.
This is Paul's mansion.
I got,
Paul.
Met most everybody.
Watching out for you.
So anyway,
I
I'll
know.
have a good place to
Take
put about
next,
6
yeah.
or 8 of them next year. That'll be
grab my pill.
fun.
So that's great. Anything else?
Getting ready to put the bridge in. The next, the
Yeah,
10th, is the 10th next week?
yeah, today's
Yeah.
the fifth.
So the 13th, the 12th or 13th, I think they're gonna be putting it in, which will be nice.
That's great.
Will there be much, is there things to do after the bridge is in? Like, is there any more,
No,
once the bridge is in, we can maybe start using it?
yes.
Yes, for
Yep.
sure.
It's
I
gonna
just
be like
walked by
bolt it
again this
together,
morning.
plunk, and it's done.
It's done for good.
Well,
It's the final bridge.
that's the final bridge for now, I guess.
Yep.
We built the sidewalk on Rawson Avenue. It's not really a
Ames
conservation
Terrace,
thing.
but yeah.
Yeah, that
Uh,
looks great.
Yeah, it came out pretty good. We got Gould Street all finished up.
That's great.
That looks excellent.
Yeah,
Are you extending the rest down to Mechanic Street
Next year.
next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
That's the
figured.
second half.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
realize
We-
you're running out of time. Good.
We squeezed that in.
No, you did good. Yeah.
I've noticed those vortex trucks around doing the
Yeah,
lining the,
they're doing like, they're lining all the sewer lines that
yeah,
are, the integrity of the pipe is still exists, but they leak. So we're lining them all with it's a fiberglass polyurethane liner.
I was talking to those guys. It's pretty impressive what
It's
they're doing.
unreal what it does. It
Yeah.
makes like basically a new pipe inside the other pipe,
Yeah,
and it's just as strong as the original pipe. So you don't have to dig the whole road up, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So we're doing miles of that. In
yeah,
an effort to keep the water, the sewage from getting out, as well as the water
Or getting
getting
in.
in, and then having to treat that water.
yep.
And or it overflowing, which is
Or
what,
overflowing. That's the objective, yeah, because when you get all that water in, then the pump station can't keep up with
Are
it.
they gonna keep doing that for other streets next
We're,
year?
we're gonna keep on going with all the streets that we can do, and the stuff that we can't do, we're gonna excavate and replace. We're getting ready to work on Park Street next, like Gould Street.
And is that sewer line in at the Molyneux and,
So, okay, yeah, so all of the pipe is in on that.
yep,
They're working on the pump station now. And all the letters have gone out to all the people. So what we did was everybody who lives on that stretch that we put the new line in, we sent them a letter after looking at the age of their septic.
Yep.
And if they have a septic that's over 30 years old, we're telling them they need to connect.
Yep.
And we're giving them 3 mechanisms to pay for that, either funding through the trust fund, if they can't afford it, a payment plan if they want to, if they can't afford it,
Yeah.
they don't qualify, or to outright just pay for it.
Yeah.
So, and then they'll all be connected. And we actually have people that don't have functional septic tanks and leach fields that are on that run.
Yeah.
So, we're having kind of environmental degradation
Would
going
imagine.
on that's happening right now, and that'll kind of take care of that.
And that the mobile home park, is that
Mountainside.
Mountainside will be able to,
Mountainside?
they won't have to use a truck anymore to bring it to the
Nice.
treatment plant. They basically have a big tank that fills up, and then they pump it off 2 or 3 times. They have to travel 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I know. I see the truck go by my house all the time. Wave at
Like
the
twice
guy.
a day. right?
Yeah, it's no, and sometimes 4 and 5 times.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Depends on how much it rains.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. And now they're, as of the middle of December, that'll either be functional temporarily or permanently. So we'll
Yep.
put a temporary pump system in, but there won't be any more trucking.
Yeah. Huh.
So that'll be done.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's kind of what.
Temporary, you just mean if the contractor might have to install a temporary
Temporary,
thing, but it will be permanently functioning without the truck.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's
right.
just
I
the-
got it.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
permanent apparatus to do the pumping, we may have to put in a temporary pumping system until the final equipment comes in because it's back ordered. Some of the electronics are back ordered. But what else is going on that we've been kind of, well, we had the NIFWIF tour for the river, about the river restoration grant. And we walked through and talked about that. The dam gates are open now.
Yeah, I see the one on the mill. It's open, right?
That's open.
Yep.
That's not us, though.
But that's the mill. But they're leaving that completely open because now they can actually use the property along Mechanic Street when they couldn't before because of all the water splashing off of on the backside. And then Montgomery Dam Gate, they've asked to keep it open permanently. The
Or at
people
least
that
for the
live there.
winter, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
which
that's
is
good.
kind of nice. Yeah, which is a big 180 from where it was at before. So that seems.
So those are going to be permanently open.
Yeah, and I don't want to say,
Oh.
I don't know permanently, but I don't want to say what steal Allison's thunder there. She's done some stuff over there that we helped her with too. Your cleanup effort. Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I mean, if we start going down the road of like where every dam is at, then we're gonna be here for a while, but.
Yeah.
But there's a cleanup, if anybody wants to participate. We have been, the locateurs who own 39 Main
Yeah.
Street, which was the building that had needed to be fixed. They have actually, we had our differences for a bit,
Right.
but it's actually been a really wonderful development that they're doing I don't know how many of you had been down there before, but a lot of past projects, and there was a lot of junk in the river. I mean, there still is, but the owners of 39 Main Street really took advantage of the dry summer. They got lucky too, but they, for the first time I ever seen a property owner there get all of the stuff that had been left on the property before, like when piers fail and
Yeah.
all of this
just-
junk, they have
construction
really
debris
cleaned up their
everywhere.
area. I was so impressed. It's been really fun to watch. They figured out a way, if they cut a hole in the floor so that they could lift things out, they jackhammered the old
Yeah.
concrete, lifted it up.
Wow.
And then they are, because they've been under there so much, there's nothing like, spending a couple months underneath the buildings and the bridge and the river to start noticing other things too. So Amy contacted me, and we've been doing a little bit of river cleanup. So on Sunday, a few of us last week, the owner of the Smiling Cow also, just really enthusiastic about continuing the cleanup efforts and getting all of that old stuff out of the river. And so we're going to do, there are all these people that were like, oh, next time I want to know ahead of time. And so we're going to do another one. We're still working on whether the weather's not looking great, but either Friday or Sunday to do some continued clean up to take advantage of the water being low, even up through where the Main Street Bridge is, up to the, past the ice cream place and stuff.
Yep.
And that is, I think, a good opportunity too, as the Main Street Bridge will be replaced eventually. And they have some good observations about maybe ways that design could change or should change, and all the debris that it traps. And the bridge is really designed to be much too narrow now. But
Is there any idea when that work's gonna get done on the bridge? I mean, ballpark, to see anything?
originally, I think it was scheduled for 2027.
Oh.
Which bridge is this?
Right here,
The
Route
US
1.
Route 1 Main Street Bridge.
Oh,
That almost can be forgotten is even a bridge
Yeah.
because of all the buildings that make it not
Right.
look like there's a river.
Yep.
So, yeah, their plans are to remove the center pier. But it's very interesting there, the water company pipe goes underneath there and traps debris. There's just all kinds of stuff kind of hanging down, and
There was a generator under there that somebody was making electricity and they took us
Oh.
down. It was under, I don't know if it's the same building. It's the one that was the women's clothing shop a long time
Also
ago.
Logan or whatever it is.
no, it's still
And,
is.
the captain of the Mary Day had put in
Havla
a
Hawkins.
water power thing.
That was in
Not
the-
the same as upstream under, the bagel shop place that had its own water.
That
bill.
never was functional.
This was just
That
a
was just
little
for show.
machine that was generating electricity for the building.
Huh.
That was,
And
that
the
was, yeah, that was Havla Hopkins,
Yeah.
Hawkins.
Yeah.
That stopped in the mid 80s, I believe.
It was, or late 70s.
Yep, I think that, yeah, that was in the basement of Once a Tree. None of that is financially viable
No,
anymore,
I
but,
just wonder if there were remains of it sitting in the mud or something.
well, that was
Probably in the
more,
building.
that's a little downstream. There's everything from, we were pulling out like reams of wool from the woolen mill, big
Really?
spindle type
Huh.
things,
Like spools.
spark plugs, hoses, screens, everything that has ever floated down the river and gotten trapped. And then,
Wood.
lots of wood. Great opportunity to see kind of what the beavers try to do too. And so it's a really interesting mix actually of old and new
Yeah.
trash, and just
Bottles.
generations
Sometimes they're
of
kinda cool
our
and
mess not being
Yeah.
picked up.
It's like a time capsule.
It really is. And it's just been great to have the excitement to find, I mean, there are things down there that I've been trying to get up for years. And Amy and David, those people they are tough. And they would have to be to do what they did on their building. But they worked really hard on getting a bunch of it out, and they actually removed, there were all these boards that were falling off of the dam as well. And a lot of the stuff that falls off can clog up the
Yeah.
gate. It can hurt people. So they proposed removing that stuff themselves and got permission to do that.
Wish you
So
were still writing your column. You could have a column. listed.
they canceled that at the
I know,
paper.
but you should write it anyway.
Well, I really need somebody to bother me to keep doing it, because I could write it for the Penn Bay Pilot. And I'm struggling with since there are no print deadlines, I just don't do it. Whereas for the paper, they would say, Allison, do you have something? And I would do it. So if a little bit,
I'm
I
tired of bothering people. I'm exhausted.
oh, well, I know the feeling, yeah.
So I can't believe with the paper the size that it is, they can't fit your column in it.
They said they felt it was a conflict of interest because I was on the select board, and it went,
Huh.
that's a whole longer story that I very much disagreed with, that I wasn't the only one. I was looking for free too, but that's, they have their reasons.
Anything else from the select board we ought to know about that you think is,
I do think we should really try to schedule an app training.
Yep,
And so I would like somebody to bother me about that,
I already sent
which
it.
I did see the
That's
emails. So let's, and we
the
should get
tree app? What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
okay.
tree app, which is also the stormwater app, but we'll go
Yeah, all right.
little by little. But because that was such a good, success story with the Conservation Commission identifying all these places. And now Dave's need to plant trees
Yeah.
is outstripping the
It's getting harder,
repopulating
and it's
of the app.
hard when you don't have a spot to put them, and you
Yeah.
gotta go and ask people, and
I would really like to see us also keep track of trees that are taken down. But that's too much to ask of the Public Works Department. And
I mean.
we need to just improve that process. Again, at least identifying the new places, keeping track of them. So
If someone tries to take a tree down on their property that's in this right away, do you require them to put another tree back up?
Yep.
they don't,
They're not
normally
supposed
aren't allowed
to,
to.
first
put
of
it
all,
up.
they can't do it on their own. They gotta contact the tree warden,
Yep. And you're the tree warden, right?
the tree warden.
Yep.
Then I look at it, and it has to be diseased or a hazard. And then I evaluate it, and then if there's a difference of opinion between me and their arborist or whatever, I bring in one of our arborists to kind of be the tiebreaker, so to speak, and then we go with that usually. If they cut a tree down, the policy is if there's a tree removed because it is diseased or has a problem, they have to replace it with another tree. Because so that kind of eliminates the whole just getting rid of the tree for the sake of getting rid of trees.
Right.
Because, the first thing I tell them is, well, if we get rid of this tree, we got to put another one back. And then sometimes they'll be like, but that's kind of, that's.
All right, did I get, I'm getting the message that it would be useful to have a system where somebody or all of us on the Conservation Commission know when all the things that you're doing with trees, and then we would enter it into the app because you don't have time.
In terms of the tree removal, I kind of think that's something I'm going to have to do because I'm the one that's usually involved in removing the tree. And it'd be kind of silly to have you guys go and put in something in an app after it all happened. The way what's helpful is when you guys do the locations of where the trees go and you talk to the homeowner and then you put in the notes, like what the homeowner wants and they're okay with the tree. And then now they already know. And I just have to look at the app and put a tree there.
So
And,
in the
a lot
past-
of it we didn't do, I don't think a lot of that was done this year.
No, that's
No,
the point.
we-
It's
we have-
taken me
that
a
was-
lot of my time has gone into finding a place for
But-
trees.
So
talking to
we put in the app, like for instance, Kathleen, what's Mr. Nolan at the bottom of our street? He took down 2 big trees.
Right.
He should have 2 more trees go back in.
No,
But I
I've
just-
talked to them already.
I haven't been able to I've been having trouble with the app.
They're in the
but
right of way, you shouldn't have cut them down.
I think they were.
Well,
They were
that's
in
not
the right of
allowed.
way. What?
If they're in the right of way to cut them down, he could get a fine.
Chris's father.
Well, we don't have to name names, but
But it
But you
was
should-
a few years ago.
you guys have to know that when a tree comes down and
I didn't- it wasn't even, it was a few years ago. I don't know. But still, I just think it totally changed the look of that part of the
Well,
street. And that's one place I look at. And a few others I've been thinking.
That's on your street?
Yeah.
Well, so you should put it in the app
Right, I
and
know,
then,
but-
talk and say, hey, Jim,
Do the
looks
app.
like you took down some trees and we're going to be replanting them.
Like a whole stretch there.
Oh, yeah, it's awful.
But Cynthia, just to get you sort of more in the loop, in the past, this year was kind of a lull.
I can send it
a
to you.
Gap year, as it were. But in the past, we have literally gone out in pairs, sometimes solo, but often in pairs. It motivates us to get out there and do it. And then we verify under the wire or not. But we literally will take a walk around the village as, volunteer
we've-
members of the CCC. And,
Yeah, we've
it
done
was like
that.
Pam and Brian and I did
Ave,
all of
Union
Union
Street,
Street,
yeah.
Belmont. We did
Yeah,
this
they
like a
put a
whole
thing-
loop. We put a little pin in where a tree could be, like
Yep.
there's space for one. We had one neighbor, ironically, somewhat environmentally. Anyways, it was kind of
Yeah,
comical
who
because
wasn't too happy
watch
about
this unfold. She's like, I don't want a tree here. And we're like, yes, we got it. But, and which is fine. Then you're just like, doesn't want a tree
she's
there.
no
you
longer
know?
lives there,
Yeah, I
so.
know. So anywho, but we will literally go out and just take a walk. And so it's kind of, fun.
And we
And
can
then
do
you
that again.
mark them and then you contact
It wouldn't hurt to start
the
that.
landowners.
Yeah.
And you say, hey,
Yeah.
We work for the CCC and, or, on the CCC and, we're looking at, expanding our tree planting program for 2026. And we've identified the possibility of having an understory or a shade tree, or you could have a shade tree, but if that's too big of a scale or like whatever, would you be receptive to a smaller, tree? And, and most of the time people are like, I don't have to pay for it. I don't have to plant it. You're going to water it. Cool. Most of the time, but every now and then you get one that for good, bad, or indifferent reasons. And then whether we collectively as a town have the right to plant a street tree, is that you're just kind of like, maybe not right now. It's the time, like leave that one alone for now. And then you move on. Cause there's plenty of places ultimately
Next
to
people
plant.
move in.
Right. There's plenty of places to plant, but it's already in the app. And then
Yeah.
you
You
can
put a
go
halo
back
around the ones that are ready to
and
to
you,
go.
right. So,
So
and then the ones that
something-
are like ready to go are identified. Any notes that it's like no preference or please put in a maple of some kind and off you go. So it
So-
makes it a lot easier when
Yeah.
David has gaps in his schedule
Right.
and you never really know how those are going to unfold, but they do happen. They always do with this nature of this work. He'd be like, hey guys, take these 5 trees and go out and spend the next 4 hours popping them in the ground. And they're like, okay, bye. It's like, it's a perfect
But
kind
what
of,
I've had to
but
do
we
this
have
year
to.
is I've had to go
get
and
ahead
like
of 'em.
talk to people, and then you got to be nice. Not that I'm not nice to everybody, but you have to give them your time, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that takes time. You can't just be like, all right, can I plant a tree here? They're like, who are you? Why do you want to plant a tree?
Right, and then you have to do it rather than being able to just send people out and say,
Right,
plant these trees, not talk to this homeowner about planting a tree.
right.
Yeah. And so we need to schedule some time with you to go through the app, right?
As soon as.
Because that's until we all get comfortable with
This
that.
is super easy. This part, you
Yes.
walk up, you.
It's not as hard as the stormwater one.
I've used it. It's pretty straight. Well,
It's-
we have, Rebecca and I, and
And then
Pamela
after
at
you
the
talk
time.
with the people, you
Yep.
say you talk to them, and then it makes a halo around it, and then
Yep.
it's good.
Yep.
Then I plant the
ArcGIS
tree.
Field
and I-
Maps
All
is
right.
going to be the app. I'll send you the password right now.
Okay, I was talking about the other end of it though, because I thought I heard him saying that he hasn't had time to put in all the trees that he's planted because he's been really
That's
busy.
true too.
That is true.
That's catching up
So
for this
like,
year.
maybe if you like, can you like, is there some way you can, that it
If you want
doesn't
to
take
do that,
time
I
for
can
you
give
to?
you the list of the trees and
That's
where
what I
they
mean,
are.
like, if you can
Yeah.
come up with a list every month
Yeah,
of which
I
trees you
mean-
did, I can enter.
I mean, I have them all written down on a piece of paper, and what I
Yeah.
was going to do is drive around and just
You
enter
can-
them in. 'cause
yeah, I
it's
did
fairly
that
easy.
once too. Beatty gave me a whole list of things and I put them in there.
You're supposed to take a
it's pretty
picture of
easy to
each
Take a
tree
picture of it, you write the species down, you know. all of
And then
that.
you
All
take the
right, we need
tag
to
off.
get moving.
Tag off, and make sure
Um,
the volcano's not.
We've got a,
Anyway.
spent some time with Kathleen and Molly talking about the stewardship community engagement plan that they
Whoa.
did, which is really cool.
Sounds snazzy.
Well, it's interesting because it really ties in a lot of this stuff, right?
Yeah, even that's the
I mean, that's what I think too. It's kind of the glue that brings everything together.
All right.
I was always struggling with, how's this got to do with that? And this program sounds really perfect, right? So you guys want to kick that off?
Sure.
You
sure.
comfortable with that?
All right.
So
I get it on my
I
computer.
sent a very rough outline to Molly, so I have to give Molly credit for making this into a really solid, expansive outline of what basically is a citizen advocacy program that I feel like so many of the issues that we are dealing with, whether it's EAB, the street tree planting, or even getting people to participate in the Poetry Out Loud, needs more of a public face and a structure to get more people involved, not necessarily on the commission level, but just in our activities. So we kind of came up with this idea of a tree corps that would be
It's a tree core.
tree corps, like
tree
Peace Corps,
corps.
except for trees.
Isn't that cute?
I think it's awesome.
You get sent somewhere cool.
That's right. You could send to
You have to go eat this
Garden
chestnut
Avenue.
tree.
And it would be sort of multi-generational, hopefully. It could also be many different public spheres, like the library or,
The schools.
the schools,
Schools, yeah.
people that have interest in trees or could get interested in trees. So I guess that initially Molly and I wanted just to talk to you about, one, is this a good idea? When you look at the outline, it is very ambitious. It's more kind of the bigger plan. But I think we could take the infrastructure of having a tree corps and developing a tree corps and use it for right now, the immediate things that we are working on as a committee.
Could have a junior tree corps too.
Yeah, exactly. And we could actually give out certificates at Arbor Day for junior tree corps participants. And also, I think that, oops, I just lost my train of thought there. Wait a minute.
Tree corps.
So we could, so I guess what we wanted to talk to you guys about was to focus on, is it a good idea? And we really need some help in developing kind of this citizen advisory committee that would sort of, we have a list of sectors, I guess you would call it, that we're looking for about what is possible, or who we could get at least one person to kind of help us plan what a tree corps would be. So that in the beginning, we have a kind of a big sector of people, maybe 7 people that could help us get this off the ground. So the first 2 things we were interested in is getting this started with EAB things in the spring, and also poetry out loud, not poetry out loud, poetry event for Arbor Day. And also the street tree thing. I mean, I thought it was interesting when people were saying, well, we could, you mentioned that you can just walk around. Well, if we had more people to kind of walk around and keep an eye on trees that could be planted, or what's the status of the trees that have been planted, we could have like a citizen band of people that were also interested in helping us out as volunteers. And they would stop being so afraid of trees too. And it would also really strengthen the idea that Camden is a tree city. Like, if you want to live here, you have to like trees. I mean,
Yeah, right.
I mean, I feel like that's a very important part of Camden, and we have to like get that into people's psyche.
Because it's really important, because there have been a number of events of people moving into town, and the first thing they do is cut down trees that other people have really grown to love. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes it's the locals who just try every couple of years, every time they get a new public works director or something, or like my neighbor, every 3 years. As soon as I got on the select board, actually, he told me about the tree the town wouldn't let him cut down. And I was like, oh.
You know, one reason,
So how's this different than the Conservation Commission? So the tree corps is more of like, all right, I don't need to go to meetings or anything. It's just like a,
Yeah, and I
It'd
think
be a volunteer group.
it's,
yeah, but you
yeah,
guys
right.
aren't, you guys aren't really.
we volunteer.
Yeah, I was
too.
gonna say, you're not forced.
I
like a-
think
yeah.
it has a strong youth focus.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
just kind of wondering what the.
Yeah, I think the idea was to try to bring in like middle schoolers, high schoolers, maybe scouts, young people in the area who might have like volunteer hours to give and an interest in it.
I think that's
Um,
great. I happen to have a high schooler for at least this year. And she's the president of Camden for Community. And that's kind of, they do a multitude of things, but they do food banking, they do donations to the shelter, they do a bunch of different
You
activities,
have
but
to too, right? As part of like, don't they have to
there are
do it
no
up-
requirements at this stage of the game.
In high school,
I
they
had
have
to
to
in high
There's this
school.
myth that there's like all these high school students that desperately need these volunteer
No,
hours.
No,
and I'm
no,
not-
but there is like, they do have to do some type of community
Well,
outreach.
so
NHS
national
does.
NHS, she's
Oh,
also
okay.
she's also a national, yes. So she's also an NSA. NHS has that, and there is a mandatory community service element. So you have 2 different, organizations with it that are very well heeled. They're not going anywhere within the Camden Hills community. Certainly NHS in the foreseeable future.
I don't want to rely on them for like continuity though, because they're.
They do have specific programs that or activities that are.
Like, it depends which
They
student
will-
is in charge. I used to use them a ton for or medical sorting, and you get like a couple years of like, they're really good because the student coordinator was
Yeah,
really
I
good.
mean, there'll
and
be
then
high, low, peaks, troughs, levels of interest, but typically they have like, these are the 4 to 5 groups that we regularly work with. I mean, if this was a community-based, long-standing,
Like the soup
that
kitchen.
they sort of, yeah, I mean, there's 2 or 3 or 4 things that Camden for Community like always does, period. Like they just always do these things. And then if something else comes along, they can add on, or if something particularly, I don't know, like a flooding event or something catastrophic or something that happened, of course, then they lean in on that. But, and NHS has a number of hours. So it's just a matter of like, well, building the community or building the liaison or saying, here's what it would look like. And this would be the level of commitment or request. I mean, kind of, you can build out what that could look like and give it to them. You could say, hey, we would be looking for this kind, maybe an outreach piece, or maybe this, you've got writers and social media people, all these,
Yeah,
right.
these kids are
Adopt a tree,
very
like they can-
capable, right? And,
Right.
one planting day, if you could get us 7 to 12 kids, I mean, that would amplify the effort considerably. You could get, a quarter of your trees in a day or less, like in a few. So it's possible. I mean, I'm certainly happy to
Great.
bring it up and.
Could you send us me or both Molly and I the contacts for people to get in touch with?
Yep.
Okay, because that's a good place to start. I think the idea is to start small and build those connections,
Yeah.
and then try and use it on the events that are coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, use it as an example, but in terms of getting some community engagement, this seems like a really good idea. And then, like I get involved in the middle school with the environmental club and the science teachers, right? You can see where, like, you can see where that could fit in well with this, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's going to take some, we're going to have to focus the programs in some manageable way and provide some tools to help. Like for example, I'm thinking, I know the science teacher and Hallie really well. And I've done some things with her in her class, but I could see how if we put together some kind of a programmatic approach, like here's our middle school tree program. It's making stuff up, right? With some
I like it.
content around it, and then talk about some field work. What would the field work be? How would we get the kids involved? The teachers would love it because they really appreciate any help they can get.
Yeah, and if it's tied to Earth Day, if like the kids do a little
Or it could be a hike.
little pitch for trees,
Yeah.
or a little why we need trees, like you can take your documentation, but then they can
They do
middle
resist
school
if
it,
they
Yeah.
right?
don't.
Middle, and
Middle
I mean
school,
it in a
right.
way, in a good
Yeah,
way. Middle
yeah.
school, and they pitch it they put a little piece in the paper, they put it in the
Yeah.
school newsletter, something where they make the connection, and
Right.
then they say, oh, we've worked with
They
this
they do
conservation,
resist if
whatever.
it gives the teachers much more work. You get pushed back
Yeah.
unless
No,
you
not,
get
if
some
you
volunteers.
You
create
gotta-
this.
You have to be able to take
You have
do
to
the whole
take the
curriculum,
template. Yeah,
basically.
well, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a whole curriculum. It could be an activity day, a tie,
Right.
of lessons, or one's, this lesson tied with this
But we could
outcome
we could put it
that
together.
ties to
so they
this
wouldn't have to do that.
particular.
I just did one with all the middle schoolers down at Harbor
Is there
Park.
anybody here who's
Yeah.
going to
It was-
work on that? Like develop a curriculum?
Before we go, I mean, I think the school thing is great. Whatever can work out, but, I like the idea of the tree core being also an opportunity for there's so many adults that would like to get involved with volunteering for something
Right.
without having to do, I mean, you guys are a perfect example. Beatty still won't join the Conservation Commission. There are people that have
Clamor.
a lot to offer, but they don't,
They don't know
Steve,
what to do.
even like,
Right.
and to find ways to engage, like, we're struggling with this at the town level, like, how do you engage people? Well, it used to be committees. Well, it turns out a really small percentage of our residents want to be on an actual committee, but a lot of people would like to be more
Wanna go
involved.
out and help.
And if a few people on the Conservation Commission can lead an opportunity for people to just be involved with tree core,
Right.
and they can come up with different,
They can have
programs
their
and,
own
you
interests,
know, they
that
can
their
do-
own
Like
issues
recent
that they're-
retirees.
Right,
and they
yes.
can, you guys can be the
Yeah.
liaison to that
Right.
group, but
No, that's what I think it should be, well, multi-generational and
Right.
also
Yeah.
specific to like, let's say, like, I'm particularly interested in the heritage trees and trees getting cut down.
Mhm.
So that's one thing. And there are other people who I think would just work on that, or other people might be
Oh, yeah.
interested in emerald ash borer.
Like we should have QR codes or something at some of the trees that tell the story of a tree. You
Right.
probably have already.
But
I
I think that's,
I
guess
think that's on here.
it is, I think. But I think that's the idea that we don't have an infrastructure for this yet. So that's maybe this winter we can start.
Right.
Meaning that we don't have a structure to make these things work on a community level yet.
I think you guys should run with it and then
Yeah.
ask for whatever you need to
Okay.
support it.
Molly, did you want to add to,
I think you got it, Kathleen.
okay. No, Molly, you had some other things you wanted to,
Did I?
did we cover it or?
I think we covered it. I think you covered it. I wanted to make clear that we didn't have to bite off all of this at once, that this was like a big daydream list. And
Yeah.
we're gonna start small and grow it.
Do you have any,
organically.
do you have any ideas off the top of your head about these three topics and how to involve this new element of tree core in Emerald Ash Borer, the street trees, or the poetry event? Like, what would you like? What's your
Well, I
vision
can
of?
imagine if we had had a tree core established, we probably could have more quickly put together like a town green event, because we could have had some high schoolers make a poster for us that we
Well,
weren't waiting
I meant
on
to say
getting
that.
printed.
We
Like-
have a banner now,
Okay,
and I have a lot of the handout materials.
yeah,
It was a holdup with the banner because
Yeah.
the person who was tasked with ordering it just kept wanting to make it into some fancy thing. I'm like, no, we just want to say Emerald Ash Borer awareness. But
Yeah.
that would apply very well. So we had to add some more words to it, but it just took forever.
Yeah,
I kept
and it's
trying
not
to
a
be the
criti-
squeaky
it's
wheel,
n-
but
it's not a criticism.
I know, but I was
Anyone
trying.
here, it's just, I could imagine that we could have called up our little
But-
tree
no, but-
national guard and said, hey,
Yeah.
But I
we
think-
want to have an event next weekend.
Right.
You do this, we'll do this.
Yeah.
It's just
Just an
like
email
some
list of
people at
adults
the
even
ready.
that,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So a lot of the adults can be really
And you're
helpful,
looking
that's what
for
I-
stuff, I think, too, like you said,
right, like a little thing to feel good, good about, and just be able to help with, okay, I have some graphic design skills, I can do this,
Yeah.
but not, this.
And, and also like help giving them information to help them write an article for the paper about MLS girl awareness.
right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah, we're
think
gonna
it would
have
have
to
been
do
really,
that anyway.
it would have been
just-
great, Barb, to have other people that we could have just like called up and said, let's go out and here, you guys do this street, you do that street, you do that street with the tree tagging.
Yeah. I think it just helps us widen our bandwidth as a group if we have
And then people.
another
get-
group of people to tap
they're More
into.
aware and more attached to trees too, I think, once they start doing that stuff.
That's
The
the other
Historic
thing.
Resources Group, which I belonged to for a while, largely because they consider trees part of the town preservation.
Mhm.
And they're often discussed wanting a way that large trees, there could be notification before they're taking down of the neighbors, not, that, they have permit, that
Mm.
you can take trees down on your own property, but people around you sometimes feel pretty terrible about it. And that goes for some of the bigger ones on the street, true. So sort of neighbor notification was
Yeah.
something that they were actually interested in.
Or you can just go ahead and protect them, like some towns do, where they actually, their tree
I mean, that's what
preservation
I would
board,
like to see that eventually, there's.
you identify special heritage trees and you protect
You
them.
have allies, I think, in the historic resources.
Oh, good. If everybody could just send Molly and I, just one or two people or contacts like Rebecca had mentioned.
And Another
Then we'll
thing,
start
in the
on
high
that.
school, there's an environmental group, the wind planners, and they have
Right.
2 teachers with them. And they divide themselves up into projects.
Is
And
that still
so
going
the street,
now that she's gone?
retired?
No, I wonder.
Called the wind plan.
I'm not sure
That
that
was-
is an active group.
They are.
They are still.
Even with Margot gone?
Okay.
Well, yeah.
We.
Do you have a contact for them?
Climate, Camden visited them and is in touch with them.
This year?
Well, it's not, it was last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anything could have happened, but those
Hopefully
teachers
somebody-
were not going to let go if they're still there.
No, one of them's not, the main driver is not there. She retired, so that's.
Yeah, okay.
And also if you can think of teachers that might,
Yeah, you
in
need,
the
you're
middle school or
right.
high
It
school.
needs to be year
The
by year.
seventh grade
finding
science
for
teachers,
teachers.
the one that jumps to mind at the middle school.
I mean, there are a lot of them
But
at the middle
that,
school.
but
that-
there's a lot that would be engaged. Yeah, for sure.
The guy who takes the kids down to the river,
That's John Dieter.
That's the.
he's gone.
But there, no, he's there. John Dieter. Then you should really just write something up and send it to the school and ask that they share it with the teachers.
Okay.
Great.
The middle school?
And the high school and the,
Yeah.
elementary school. Somebody needs to adopt it. Well, that's Rockport, but the elementary school playground is like a tree desert.
Yes, it is.
Um, Also, I think there's the
Who's in
connection
charge of
already with the
planting there?
library where,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
because like Julia's partner is a arborist and a tree artist. He did the sketch for the poster for poetry.
Oh,
So,
Ken.
yeah, so
Yes.
I think she's a tree person, definitely.
Oh,
She is.
remember we were going to ask Dave about who was the arborist who was at the poetry thing?
Oh, Dominic.
Right.
Dominic,
right.
yeah. Wouldn't he like to be on a tree corps advisory board?
Yeah, I think so. He has a lot to share.
What's his
He's
name?
Dominic Fontaine. He's my husband's lifelong best friend, or one of them. He's,
Yes, he's an arborist in the area. Really nice guy.
very, he does not agree with taking down trees usually. And
It's the arborist.
if Dominic ever thinks a tree needs to be taken down, I'm like, I guess it
Right,
really
that's
does.
another like sphere of influence, like arborists, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Teachers, if anything, like somebody mentioned earlier, how arborists or tree guys, some of them actually talk people into cutting trees down too. sometimes.
Right. I mean, it's really good to be able to recommend. I try to recommend, because people say, oh, I had this, this
Wait, they
person
make
look at
most
my
money.
shoreline tree and they think it could fall, so they're going to take it down. I'm like, yeah, that guy's in the business of taking trees down.
Mhm.
Talk to Dominic about
Yeah.
cabling trees and all kinds of
Right.
things, and you'll just get a.
Pushing, actually. They're quite aggressive.
Yeah.
It would be
Wow.
good to have a conservation commissioner, tree corps endorsed arborists.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they could also be honored.
And we could even
at-
make an
at
ordinance
the
that
Arbor
only
Day
the endorsed ones.
celebration, Like have like.
Oh
some
yeah,
adult-
awards. We should
Yeah.
give an award.
Yeah.
You've got, we all like,
There's another really attractive part for arborists is the ones who want to and can climb trees. And that is attractive to teenagers who are into rock climbing also. And they
Very
do it with
dangerous,
ropes
but
and
yeah.
something.
Okay, that's-
I mean, you
Quite a-
can really get some excited.
You'd have to
Yeah,
have
they would,
expensive
everybody be
insurance.
worried about the liability. Kids.
No.
something
Anyway,
to think about, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Climbing
there's-
trees is a thing.
Oh, yeah, Colton's dad became Dominic trained Tom to be an arborist and do the climbing stuff and
Yeah, so
oh yeah, and he ended up stopping because he said he didn't really want to risk his life every single day climbing trees with chainsaws. But Dominic is it's a very,
I mean, it's serious, but
Oh,
it is
yeah, and-
something that you can actually make a living with. You don't have to buy an enormous machine that you have to pay for years.
oh
'Cause
yeah,
people can go up
that's what Tom
trees.
did. He didn't have a machine.
But that's not the most efficient way to take out a tree.
Depends what you think efficiency is
Okay.
and who's paying
Well,
that.
Well, Dominic is the person to talk to about all of that because I have seen him train multiple people to become arborists, and they've gone from just climbing to then having some of their own equipment. And Dominic and Shane are good friends too. And Dominic probably deserves some kind of an award for.
Yeah, well,
Um,
we should, in planning the Arbor Day event, we should definitely have this kind of award thing, maybe for the student or the arborist of the year.
Or
something.
volunteer.
Volunteer of the year,
Closer.
which we have an alumni here,
Hmm.
volunteer of the year, right? That's very effective.
Right, we
I
should,
think.
that kind of stuff, or where we honor a homeowner who invests like significantly in the preservation of a special tree, like that one over on C Street, like, and we
Yeah.
say like, thank you from the community
Yeah.
for taking care of this tree all these years, and
Yeah.
So, and we just need to get more people at that event and have it on a Saturday too. I think.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that was good, really well done event. I
but
mean,
if you give people awards, a bunch of awards, then you automatically have like,
Right.
oh, we're gonna go and see so-and-so get their award.
it would be really, I'm just like noodling on this. It would be really cool if we could create a tree corps with some tangible goals and objectives, something that wasn't too massive, like visionary, and then introduce it to the community, like have an event at the library and explain that we want to create a tree corps in Camden. This is this is our I'm trying to come up with the right language. This is what the tree corps' mission would be. We want to get the community engaged. These are what the tree corps activities would be. This is, the structure of the tree corps. Get people to sign up to do this, right?
That's a great idea.
With some tangible goals and objectives, not make it too massive.
right.
And,
Yeah.
because
Or
you
at
got to
least
start
get-
somewhere. I
At
love that
least,
tree
yeah,
corps.
just get people that, like a bottle, a sign
Like
up.
say-
I'm interested in
Right.
this idea.
Yeah, and I love it, I mean, somebody could say like, this is our mission. This is our, these are our short-term goals, long-term goals. Blah, blah, blah. I'm struggling with it because it's like kind of fuzzy, but, and then get people really excited about it. I'm just trying to think of, there's like this, this whole notion of identifying the heritage trees in town and, like trying to do a tree, like it's the work that the Johnsons did with that, the tree guide, the
Right.
brochure.
Right.
Barb and I
Right,
did
the
that.
self-guided tree walk.
Yeah, self-guided,
Heritage tree,
maybe that
yeah.
would be one of the goals.
Right, to have that maybe redone. and
Yeah, but, and then enlist the help of the
Needs updating.
tree corps to,
Exactly, that's on that list.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
no, I think that's it, and also, I was thinking we could get maybe some really good photographer,
start simple though.
like a hotshot
Oh, yeah,
photographer.
to really do some, like, nice
to have
photographs
some-
honoring the tree. and
Right,
the-
and have like some kind of,
Oh, you could get
Or
volunteer
have
photographers. That's a
it-
great idea.
We,
Very
I just want to say,
photogenic.
sometimes with the trees, especially the ones that are these species, these special ones, it's hard to get a picture of just that tree because they're mixed in with other trees. So
so you have to
another
cut
thing
the
is
other
if you
trees
can't,
down.
I'm just saying, if you can't
that's a good idea,
Really make
Kathleen.
him stand out.
but I said, if you can't get. a
I didn't
picture,
think of
maybe
that.
Someone who's an illustrator who can
Right,
picture,
Yeah.
it, like, can
yeah,
draw it.
I just recently reread that brochure, and to their credit, Nancy.
Oh, yeah, it's
There's a
wonderful.
lot of really good ideas there that have basically been dormant for a while. So
Well-
this is like what, 10, 15 years later?
And,
Yeah.
and, one of
So
the things is
it's
they
like
use,
revisiting some of those
they
ideas.
just use it as a walking tour.
Right,
So some of the best species of these trees weren't there because they wanted a short walk. So, you could expand out to see nicer trees too, like, I'm just
right.
saying.
No, it's true.
I mean, there's like-
And have,
Oh, yeah, there was some
Um,
favoritism and bias, I'm sure, that went
Oh,
into
yeah.
the,
or have tours, like the ghost tour, have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the
um,
I'd
tree
like to see the
corps,
heritage tree thing be more Camden, spread over Camden, to
yes,
really pick out
definitely.
the really
I think
special
that's one of
trees.
the bigger projects,
Yeah.
actually, after
yeah,
this first year of the poetry thing and EAB. So, but, I guess some of it is just organizing this first step of like hearing these names and suggestions. So
so what,
Yeah, and I,
Also, I think it's great that we do. Maybe we should, I mean, we sort of have a mission statement of
yeah,
sorts, but
we need to pare this down to something more like what you're describing. like
Yeah,
short,
some
concise,
tangible, like,
more
Action steps.
tangible summary for our outreach to the people that we want to
yeah,
right.
make contact
with
with.
some concrete goals.
Do they need super concrete goals or not? I kind of like the idea of just generate support and enthusiasm and for, street tree or trees in Camden and developing just a list of people that are sort of on standby and ready to
Yeah.
go that can share some of their skills. You might,
I'm just thinking of
We'll have
some
to-
way to like reward people with some like participation. They need to be like, there needs to be some way to get them engaged in some active participation or project.
Right.
That has, I understand what you're saying, Allison, and I think that's awesome, but I'm thinking about like, if you introduce the tree corps and said our first goal in the tree corps is to do blah, 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 right? That's our first goal, is to do, I don't know, I'm just saying like,
nominate your favorite tree. And
catalog the heritage trees in town, and this is where we're going to start, this is how we're going to do it. We could actively participate, manage the process, right?
Right.
Right, but
Yeah.
that, like, for the goals, I mean, we have a philosophical goal, basically.
Yeah.
It's to generate appreciation
Right.
and love of trees in the community of Camden for, and understand the heritage, the value for heritage, like,
If I was on the tree corps, though, I just want to be able to go home and say, this is what I did today, or this is what I,
yes,
you know,
right.
I had
There's a
some,
statement of
ta-
philosophy, though. This is what the whole
Data guy,
purpose
though, I mean,
is.
that's kind of the way you operate. Some
Yeah.
people are
I
really excited to
Right,
just.
no, like,
We might
okay,
want to leave it more open in the beginning.
yep,
So
And
that
then-
people can kind of fill it in their mind with their own thing they might be excited about, and make it clear that will be,
Yep.
people can bring projects forth that they want to do. to
yeah,
the group.
absolutely. That's a good point.
And maybe the first goal, if you want to have a goal, could be by such and such a date, we'd like to have a core made up of, and like list the mix that we envision of the kinds and groups of people. And maybe like hit a target goal number of people you want to have.
and then
join.
just
But I
say,
think broad,
right, and then vaguely, like, will involve such projects as
yes.
potentially.
Yes, some
Yeah.
examples, yes.
Yeah.
So in building on that, I could go to the library and say, we could organize a information meeting or an introducing tree
Yeah.
corps
Yeah.
over the winter.
A launch
sometime.
party.
Yeah.
Like a.
Right, and maybe try and do something fun.
Come dressed as your favorite tree.
Right.
Right,
Or
there you
do some
go.
tree cookies, or I don't know, but, because Julia, I think, she would be
Oh, yeah,
behind
I'm
this.
sure she
And we
would.
could say the library was also helping us partner with this, and, so do you want me to go ahead and see if we can get a date? I mean,
Yeah,
Or you could do a big party at the middle school cafeteria or something, or
yeah.
or.
yeah, I can help
No,
with the
we could
middle.
We could have something for schools too, maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the things that we found about the middle school, like holding meetings or events there, that was a big part of the promise when they built that school. It was going to help for that kind of thing. And it is a good community gathering space that doesn't have you can have refreshments in there. There's lots of room. It's lots of parking.
I
if
think
they
it's
need
I
that.
was gonna say, I think it's a win-win on many levels, because like you said, there's parking, there's
Right.
Yeah, it's a great
ample
space.
scale of space
Yeah.
and,
So.
And then you're at the middle school already.
and
Should we have something for school, for students, and then something for adults at the library, or just have everybody go to the
I
middle
think it's
school?
better if it goes through the teachers, honestly, because
Yeah.
they're pretty,
Oh, okay. So
they've got enough.
I think adult
yeah.
stuff can be at the middle school. That's
Yeah.
the thing, is that we've held community meetings there, and
If anything, we could figure out how to make like, frost your own tree cookie, and I'll volunteer myself. I like littles. So I would quite literally be happy to be like stuffed in the corner with entertaining all the littles with tree associated whatever thing, so that you could do something that was
Right.
like a round table or a discussion or whatever.
Trees, like for.
But yeah, I
outdoor
mean,
trees
yeah,
for
it's just little,
Christmas, like
Yeah.
living trees. I
that
don't
way
know.
the people who are,
Who
have
kids.
flexibility and have, weekends or evenings off, or, could flex their schedule to do something midweek for a tree core activity, could show up with their kiddos for an hour or
Right,
so
yeah.
meeting, and not be
Right.
like,
No, that's a
ugh.
great idea.
What if we did like a living Christmas? You know what Mrs. Bach always wanted to do? When we had the tree, those community trees, she had tried to propose that, because the town was like, oh, we want to be able to have Christmas trees in Harbor Park and the Village Green. And she was like, and so they wanted to create a space, and there are all these letters that she was like, it would be nicer if maybe we could have like a living tree that they could decorate every year. That didn't end up working out, but I liked the idea.
They did
Of-
they used to do that in Village Green, didn't they?
Well, there's a tree that they,
Used to decorate in the
is it alive?
It's a
it
a
stay
cut down live tree, right?
Yeah, that's,
No,
I
but
mean,
she's
I
talking
mean one
about a
that's like
growing
a
tree.
tree
That's
that you just,
planted.
A
that
growing
lives
tree.
there, and then you decorate it, and then you undecorate it, but it doesn't,
It's not a stump.
it's not like just it's not a tree that you cut
Well,
down.
the one
it's
that's
just
in the
like-
Village Green you see is the one that I don't know what the group does, the Lions Club or something. It's a tree, but it's a tree they bought from someplace that got cut from some field
Right.
somewhere.
So
a
there,
dead
isn't there
tree.
a tree in front of the middle school? No, in the middle of the,
There are trees.
but there's not a pine tree. No.
Like a fir tree or something?
Fir tree.
Well, but I
Yeah.
think Allison's talking about having it in.
I mean, even
like,
just separate from this, like we do all these, like Christmas by the Sea is on our agenda
Yeah.
tonight, for instance, for the select board, and we do
Right.
these things. And one of the, I don't know, just an idea. There might be people that get excited about
Yeah.
finding a tree around town or planting one, or
Well, you could
that
have
could
like
be
an-
one that we
I would-
decorate.
I would be so jazzed about that.
We used to do at my house, I came up with this thing. I didn't like buying the Christmas trees. So we would have like these houseplant trees. And
Yes.
that I was like, we're going to honor the trees that live with us.
Yes,
And we
yes.
decorated those. and we
love
had
it.
this
Pretty good.
Christmas forest, and the kids liked it for a little while, and then they decided it was weird. And now we're back to cutting down a tree.
Adopt a tree.
But
We've
we have this
got-
whole culture around a Christmas tree. It would be, maybe we could use that as an opportunity to,
I like that.
I'd be happy to put any of you on the Christmas by the Sea. I think there's a Christmas by the Sea committee that
Oh,
Holly has.
Oh, hollies.
Ask
Holly-
Peter.
That's
He has
coming
high
right up,
opinions
isn't
about
it?
that.
What?
It's like.
That's coming right up, yeah.
It's like a month.
No, that's, so, okay, so do we think we should do this after the holidays? The
Yes.
first
You know, you
week?
should do something in the parade. Can
Oh,
we do
yeah.
a float in the parade, a promotional
This year?
tree? Yeah.
Maybe once we have tree core becomes a household name.
Or just a conservation commission.
We do have an EAB banner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. That's a good idea, actually.
lot
That
of
is
fun.
truly just the saddest Christmas float,
I
though.
was like, I'm gonna ask we table this until we get a little bit more
But
thought
emerald ash
behind
borer is
it.
beautiful green. An emerald ash borer is
Somebody could dress
beautiful.
up as an ash
Green.
borer.
It's like a Christmas green.
How about a beetle?
Uh-huh. They do have emerald ash borer costumes, you said?
They do?
They have
What?
Also, yeah, anyways.
Wow.
Costumes?
Emerald ash borer.
Costumes, they're kidding. I am not.
Well, I mean, I think we should work with
She's like,
that.
I've been asked to wear one, and I
That
won't.
could be a good float. That could be a good float. Emerald ash borers
You
on.
two are in charge of the.
That would be
float.
fun. This is the kind of thing people want
I
to
don't
do.
know.
All you need is a pickup and you can put people in the back.
A red one.
I have
With
I have a little trailer
green-
that I've used before for the parade that we could
That's- I mean,
decorate.
hey, Actually, maybe every year we could have one.
I think so.
Yeah.
People, that is a great promotional thing
It
for,
is.
it gets,
What else is in this Christmas by the Sea parade thing? I love the.
have you never been? The Watershed Association?
No, once in a while. Isn't it like Thanksgiving? I don't know. I've been once in a while. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no.
And there's a
Oh,
lot of
yeah,
Girl
there's-
Scouts
But if
too.
it's,
That's
yeah,
another-
anything over
Lot of
Thanksgiving
Girl
weekend, I've
Scouts, it's a
never, I
great way
haven't
to attract
historic.
kids.
But I have been to it, yes, but.
They've,
um,
it's expanded some,
It's
and
not
like
very-
I did
an
one for New Day
education and
Syria.
outreach component, or is it like lighter?
The
and more
Watershed
fun? I
Association
don't
has a
really know.
loon. You can make it whatever you want, like the Homeless Coalition does their thing.
Hi,
the-
Audra.
The Watershed
How are
Association
ya?
has the loon. That's an outreach thing.
We're doing
It's
good.
definitely, it's meant, it's definitely.
We're
uh,
just
A
speculating
community
about
little of
doing
this
a
little
float
event
in
kind of
the,
thing.
in the,
I mean, there's a lot of fire trucks and ambulance.
Yeah, well,
things.
that's all I can remember, to be honest. And
Okay.
then like all the twinkle
look over
light
there.
things.
You should absolutely do a float.
Oh, boy, here we go.
But you really
No,
can
I-
just use a pickup. I mean, it doesn't have to be a big thing.
Right,
It can
right.
be Little and cute.
Little and
The
cute.
watering truck,
Does anybody have?
maybe. the-
See, I can see a red pickup truck with like a wreath, like
See?
wreaths along the edges of it and green emerald ash borers
Is that too much of a downer though for a Christmas float?
and throwing
The
candy.
Christmas.
Like the
hues.
Grinch, it's kind of like a,
Yes.
Yeah.
When you get
you know,
your
Public
trees.
Works does this every year. They could, you could go over there before they dress up.
Oh,
the-
they would love it if you gave them ideas for how to decorate the trucks because
Well, they
there's
could-
like a real competition with the city of Rockland because of their.
Oh, yeah. They got all the,
Cynthia, you
Yeah.
can do that. No, I think it's a great idea. I'd help you if you want, but.
But what, tell me more about these costumes. Who has them? Okay.
yeah.
They're
It
actual.
depends on costumes. I mean, that's,
Is that-
Oh.
Oh, there they are, the costumes.
Oh, my God.
That's okay. There's something for everyone.
Right.
That's a good idea, though.
Rebecca can be on there with
So
her
that-
clipboard.
That would
like-
be specific to the Emerald Ash Borer, right, and the CCC. But
Except
not the
we
tree
need to
coordinator.
make it funny and upbeat.
I
Right.
mean, I think
Yeah.
we should, we can't put the two issues on what, we can't say volunteer for the, well, maybe we could make it a tree corps, join the tree corps and fight the emerald ash borer. Or we
Sign up
could make
here.
it like a little drama, like somebody is,
Protect our trees.
Ninja
Yeah.
yeah.
or a
Got off the
ninja.
rails a little.
All right, we got Audra here.
Okay.
So
Thanks for
So,
all your good ideas.
I'll talk to some of the folks at the middle school too.
Okay, great.
I'm over there all the time. I was over there last week with, looking at some invasive plant stuff they want to get rid of. It's like, no pesticides, no pesticides.
They're in high school.
Yeah, no, the middle school.
They're always looking to get rid of something.
Yeah, they're fun. The kids are great. We went out with a field guide one day and we were looking to identify trees and they're like having a ball, running around, lifting up rocks, looking for salamanders. Had nothing to do with trees, but they were having fun. And nobody got
Salamanders need
hurt.
shade.
Nope, nobody
Oh,
got
yeah.
hurt. So, hey, this looks great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So what we talked about this, we had I think, a couple questions.
Sure.
That specifically in terms of process.
Mhm.
So what happens when you send this out for bid? How's that occur? What actually happens?
So when I spoke to Dave St. Laurent about it, there's really only, a few arborists that can do that,
Yep.
that have the ability to do that scope of work. So he'll send it specifically out to.
So
just that
Dave will do
small-
that?
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
He'll email it to them. Hopefully we'll get bids back. And then I think that it would be good to have a couple of you review the bids.
Yep.
Dave, I can if need be. And then that small group
Well, we
can
we
kind of
can,
make a recommendation
Yeah.
and then,
we can do it and then let
Mhm.
you know what the rationale behind it. So
Yes.
you don't have to get
yes.
tied up in the whole thing if you don't. You probably got plenty of other things you need to do.
Always happy. You only need to bring me in if you really want me.
Right.
More than happy to, though. And then when you've made your recommendation,
Mhm.
we can bring it to the select board. And then that gives them a good basis to, make the final decision.
And then with the criteria for, just to be, it's the selection criteria.
Mhm.
So it's not solely based on the lowest price,
Right.
right? It's based on our assessment of the ability to do the cost versus benefit,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Good. So now, when we talked yesterday, you're aware of the fact that we've had several discussions with Shane
Mhm.
as per Dave's recommendation originally, right?
Yes, yep.
So we naturally want to make sure he gets an opportunity to take a look at this.
Yes.
And I was thinking that we probably, I want to make sure we're equitable and yada, 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 objective, but it would be really good to get his take on it
Yeah.
as well, because a lot that went into it was feedback we got
From
from
him.
him as an arborist and
Yeah,
somebody who's done a lot of this work already.
right.
So,
That's why Dave asked you if you'd talk to,
yeah. And
Dave was here a
so
little bit earlier.
we'll
Probably
do,
should've just-
we'll,
Yeah, no, he called me and said, hey.
all right.
So I just want to make sure how, that it's going out publicly, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so his impression that there's only a couple of people who can do this in this area is going to be tested by the fact that this is going to be advertised far and wide.
I mean, they'll put it on the website and stuff, but
Yeah,
we do this all the time, like
Yeah.
putting in,
like for road paving.
and when you just advertise almost anything, you get like nothing back. So they have
Yeah.
to proactively send out but Dave's really familiar with,
Yeah, well, I guess,
but you guys could send, it would be once it's on the town website or something, they could send a link. And if you guys are aware of other people that are qualified, you could send it to them. too.
Well,
But-
Just call and say, go to this website, there's bids there.
or just, yeah, exactly. What would be a reasonable time frame? Let's say
I think 2 weeks.
2
You know,
weeks to
Yes,
send
if
it
we
out
put
and
it
get
out.
responses back. Right. So what I'm going to suggest, just to keep it simple, is I can put my name on here as a contact. Is that all right? And then I can share it with everybody, just to keep it simple.
We
Everybody all
don't
right with
normally
that?
have, it when it goes out to be advertised.
I
You'll
thought
want,
he was talking about just for this.
the contact should be like that, when it goes out publicly, should be Dave.
Should be Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for the group and
Yeah.
collecting feedback.
And then, so this contact information should be Dave.
Yes.
All right. And then the timing on this should be a couple of weeks. And then, okay, so, I mean, honestly, we should be ready to launch this thing by the end of next week.
I think
At
so,
least,
yeah.
I mean, is that, you guys all feel similarly?
I think to publish this, he means.
Oh, okay, I was like, what?
Yeah.
We have any teachers? Like, we have 2 weeks.
You can leave, you can give more than 2 weeks response time. if you
I'd
want.
kind of want to get Shane's feedback on this, because he gave us so much input on it, right? To make
You have to
sure,
give it to him to offer it as an option for bid. At this point, he's,
but I also want to go through it with him and make sure that the language in it represents,
I think
I
you're.
mean, you do need to be a little bit careful about that,
biased
but
At this, I think you're,
mean-
you're showing preferential treatment at that point.
you can't.
is there a lot of competition for this? I don't know that there actually will be, but it would be, if,
My guess is we'll have one bid.
or maybe the, I mean, but Dave did say it would be good. I think maybe just out of the idea of making sure that it's something that an arborist in general is going to be able to read and respond to. So that, I think that would be the value of,
yeah,
that
that's
Dave
what,
was
that,
suggesting.
that's where I am, not
Right.
to like, to make sure the content is consistent with what. So make sure it's coherent, right?
Is that a standard process for when you're putting out other bids? Other
It's not
calls
standard
for
to talk
bidding?
about it in a committee like this, but
No.
this is very non-standard.
Do you mean like showing a potential, somebody who could be,
Yeah.
not typically,
Yeah.
not typically. I mean,
so
it-
then, I
it
mean, I think
sometimes
there's.
does happen, like, I'm just trying to think of an example. We've had certain, there are certain projects where you'll have like an engineering firm prepare the
Right.
information and that they're going to bid on actually like having, there'll be like a engineering oversight or project management component of
Right.
it that they'll end up being part of the bids that are submitted. So that's kind of similar, I
Yeah.
guess.
I'm, that's why
It's
I'm
almost like the
asking.
more you talk about it like this, the the worse it becomes. Like,
Yeah, I feel like this is pretty
Like-
clear and self-explanatory. I mean,
I think pretty good.
I mean, depending on
Okay.
what kind of,
you could just talk to Dave afterwards and just say, is there anything in there that you wanted to be sure was?
Yeah, he needs to take another look at it because I don't think he looked.
He said he
Yeah,
did look at it,
I-
but
Oh,
maybe
he
he feels
did?
like he needs to look one more time, and maybe that's why he's asking
Yeah,
about whether you
I went through it this morning. I only changed a couple very little things.
Yeah.
That's it.
depending on how a project is funded, lots of like federal grants or, other even city grants in different cities. The degree to which you involve a potential bidder in designing and writing up the RFP is very sensitive issue.
yeah.
So
And I mean, do things like at a national level and other municipalities, like you're talking about, do they sometimes have minimum bid requirements? Like, do you have to receive more than one bid before you can accept one?
We don't.
No.
We don't. No.
Okay.
I wish there
Okay.
were this massive competition for
Yeah.
this, but it's not.
usually the
Okay.
requirement is how publicly they define publicly
Right.
advertising something.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around this.
Really, just when you think it's done, just probably pass it on to
To
Dave,
Dave.
and they'll make any final things and then send it out and let you know it's available to share with everybody.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Yep, sounds great. Okay, so Dave's got the ball. We'll have to circle back with him. I guess I can do that, right?
Yep.
Just circle back with Dave and make sure he's,
Ask if he's ready for it to go out.
yep, all right. Okay. Any other questions?
Anything else?
You made it so pretty. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That makes it simple,
Yeah.
which is great. Excellent, good.
Awesome.
Anybody else? No? We got 12 minutes left.
All right.
If there's anything else you guys want to discuss, or we can adjourn the meeting.
Adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Third.
Third? You can count.
Thank you guys for all coming.
Congrats.
Congratulations. Thank you, everybody.